Hello and welcome as it is the 17th day of June 2019. It is Monday and welcome to the Money Charts channel. This video isn't going to be so much about technical analysis, but I'll start off within multiple time frames, 1 minute really quickly going on. Within Bitcoin, I want to talk about Binance and exchanges in general, and Bittrex not allowing U.S. customers to trade and what's been going on within that. I'll give you my take on the situation for the short-term time frame there, and general uh, economic collapse stuff, and thus because of how fraudulent and bad things are. Sometimes four-letter words in proper duration and time and used as the right adjectives is appropriate. After all, if I go out and say that it is a very shitty system on a monetary level that we're living in, I think the adjective describes it just fine. Okay, so let's get started in here. 1 minute time frame with the Bitcoin. Markets have been running up higher, 91 high to 93 low. That's a gain of about 140 or so points, about 1.5% during this run on the 5 minute term time frame. Looking to successfully correct this move in here, as we can see that it was running in higher. When we look at this on that of the 15-minute time frame, really just a lot of choppy action going on, or sideways action. Different attempts to break it down here, not so much. Attempts to break out higher twice here, no. Attempt to break down here, no. Attempt to break out here, we'll see. And on the single hour term time frame, when we look at this pattern, this is an ascending triangle. This could be a powerful breakout, getting out above those levels on the 4 hour term time frame. Within the ascending triangle, where did we come from? Well, there's that same ascending triangle where we came from. Well, this run in here, which was a break of one of this little area here, was S squents. If I'm not going to show it in this one, actually I will. It was the break of this trend. It's okay. It was April, May, June. It was like June of 2017 when it broke its long-term resistance line. It went big time high. So that's another place you would see it. Daily term time frame for Bitcoin. It's in a situation where we've been in this sideways range. We've already now gotten above this resistance. We're now spending what's now been like the third day hanging in there. Definitely mathematically, but numerically, the price has gotten above this level. By no means has it been a clear break out above. And on the weekly term time frame, getting above the 18 average at the start of April hasn't even touched the 18 cents as we are now into the middle of July. And after this little bit of correctionary move, it looks like it's going to go higher. Don't get the fib numbers in here, but 9,800 is where it's at. And as far as that trend line that I was talking about, that was a situation when it was able to break above this little trend line here on May, is when it did that. That's the one that I was referring to, and then we'll finish it off within the monthly. Like I say, no resistance here, no resistance there. Oh, now that we're back above the 18, that's bullish behavior in that spot. Bearish below, bullish above, a neutral correctionary move within. Okay, let's see how this goes on moving forward. But that's it for Bitcoin. Let's now talk about Binance. And I'll put up their chart now on the screen for such. But it's been announced that they are not going to be allowing Americans to trade in 3 months or deposit. So until then, you can keep on doing what you normally do, your normal trades. But then at that point, all you'll be able to do is, well, log in and withdraw funds, as you won't be able to go on the markets and do any trading, and you won't be able to, of course, deposit any coins within. And well, that means, of course, some people are going to be selling some altcoins and getting really out of there. But it does seem as if they're getting an exchange ready to go for Americans to be able to do. And a lot of this happens to do with the margin stuff, which I am very anti against margin trading or I'm against uh, loans and debt. I'm very much anti-debt based system, big time. So I would not want to do anything as far as needing to borrow funds, and I'm definitely not the type of person that needs to borrow funds, and I don't want to loan anyone, and I'm definitely not the type of person that wants to loan any, given that I'd be wanting to charge like a percent a day, or I mean, given how little I would be making on interest, I laugh at that kind of percentage gain given what I try to do, making more aggressive levels. So I want no part of either being a loaner or a lender, or being the debt or the creditor. I don't want to be either or in that type system. But anyway, that's enough about that because I will be talking about debt soon because of the monetary system and general whole. That'll be coming up in a bit. But there, with having the trading strategy where you keep funds in your own wallets, then Binance goes, 3 months comes by, we're into the end of the summer, into the fall. Where are you able to trade those coins? There is going to be alternates. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if things are ready to go or if there are just temporary halting periods where you may not be able to do as much or some of your coins. You're going to have to do fidget away to find or try to find creative ways to sell them if you want to. There's going to be other exchanges. I don't know what Huobi is up to for some of that. Even on Bittrex, they're setting it up so that there's a decent amount of coins that Americans will not be able to trade, but some you'd still be able to. And I guess since last resort, and even not only last resort, but as far as anonymity is concerned, this will cost you a bit in rake. But I believe Chain Jelly is a spot, and of course I'm not promoting them in any way, where you can go on there and like what kind of coins do we got? We got all of these different coins on here. I mean, is there theta on here? Nope, nope, no theta. So some of them might not be available, but let's just assume like something like no. I've never heard of Noah. What's okay? Let's try to find some that I'm. Guppy's getting its ass kicked. I've seen that one. That one's like a dead coin, GUP. Uh, but if there's maybe there's ones you're in here like, oh, I got Arc, and let's just say Bitcoin, and then you could just do your exchange. But that's just one example. And while we're at it, let's just show you the GUP because I was looking at that a couple of days. And I was like, holy shit, this thing is like dead. I mean, maybe it's gonna work out, or there's gonna be great gains for it, but you have a lot of these flashy. I mean, this is well the Volti 222 up to 435, so that's like a double move, and now it's back to where it came from. And on the weekly chart, this thing was at like 14,000, and now it's at 222. Okay, that's. I haven't seen what the national debt looks like in a while. Are we over the what is it 22 trillion or what? I don't know where we're at right now. 22 trillion dollar debt. Nothing goes straight up. Okay, that's what I've heard anyway before in the past. Of course, we live in an economic model where we have fiat currency in every nation worldwide, backed by government decree. And I hear people saying whatever I don't whatever reasons they say whatever that we're holding it, we're forced to. I mean, we've all grown up whether you're 40, 50, 60, 80, even if you're 100. We all grew up from the time we were 5, 10, 20 years old. Our parents had dollar bills and little quarters, dimes, and nickels and all that kind of stuff. And when you got jobs, that's what you got paid in. You go to stores, you pay in that stuff, and that's how it's always been. There have been many changes, especially for those that are 60, 70, 80, even not definitely 100, seeing different cycles come in. throughout the years. Different changes like the Bretton Woods and or the Nixon going off of the gold standard temporarily. Well, most likely, I think there's a good chance when it's all said and done that the gold standard will end up prevailing in a blockchain based system, but that could be a while away from now. But the banking system, absolutely ready to go down. That's why Bitcoin is doing very well, I think, and has been holding for so many years. Now, if next month, yeah, I'm saying next month, not soon, not next week, not in the fall, and I guess not even August, if Deutsche Bank literally is done at that point, all I'm going to be saying is wow. Because I heard it from a friend. No, I just heard it on a video from somebody that seems to, let's just say it's a woo woo information, we'll call it, where Deutsche Bank will be basically finito. Now, back in 2002, $35 a share, up to 140. Then the 2808 stock market crash brought it down to 19. The 2009 recovery brought it up to 75, and then, of course, breaking down below the support in 2016, now at 682. Is this something that's going to be going down below there? Well, if it goes down to nothing, we're talking about it going in here and then being bought up for micro pennies on the dollar and all that. Or just a major part, like how it's going to unveil. But situations like that, banking crises, banking failures to large degrees, oh, there's going to be a large transfer of wealth that this world is going to go through. Which part of it do you want to be on? And it's not like you have a choice and you got to stick with that team, if you get what I'm saying. In that, oh, I'm going to be on the side of cryptos, or I'm going to be on the side of gold, or I'm going to be on, oh, it's not going to happen. I'm going to be on the side of dollars. All the crypto and gold people are going to lose, and this transfer of wealth is going to go my way because I'm going to hold paper rectangles and have as many numbers of digits I can in my trading accounts and stocks and stuff like that. Well, if you have stocks, and you have your share of paper rectangles, and you have your share of gold and silver, and you have your share of cryptocurrencies, if you happen to have losses with inflationary hits over the next many months and years, well, how much could that be saved to you by crypto holdings and by gold and silver holdings? Let's now put a gold chart up. And it had an amazing run from 2002 all the way up to about 2011, 2012 area, going from 250 up to about 1900. A little bit down and just going sideways, and we got formations of both an inverted head and shoulders pattern and an ascending triangle. We've already got a line up here, and the ascending triangle would connect the support since the 2015 lows. The inverted head and shoulders pattern will be more clearer as of now, with this little area being the left shoulder. Call this the head in here, and this very long widen out right shoulder. This level of resistance, the neckline is closer to 1364-ish, 1370, 75. But in a situation with Deutsche Bank going down, they're huge, that company. They are massive over in Europe, and for that matter, globally. And a change in that type of system, it's been long due overcoming. It's been a hell of a long time. As like for me, if I look at my timeline, back in here, October 1997. Oh, that was great days. Oh man, those were the early internet days. And then we move into here, 2000. There was no Y2K and any of that type of stuff. Bitcoin. Has anyone at that point ever said those words cumulatively together with the recognition of speech? The word bit and the word coin together in the same word. Well, who was the first person ever to say that? I was just thinking about that yesterday. Let's get off that point now. And then back in this point in here, I never even thought of even how one would even vest gold or silver. It just being that, let alone having gold bars or silver coins. Never even thought of that. I never even really was aware that a 1961 quarter and all those other ones were made of silver. And all those years when I had coins, worked in stores where where I went through change all the time. I don't think I ever did find one, but I have never ever found a silver quarter dime at all just going through change in my life. But that's neither here nor there for this video. Roughly at around in here, just this was a good point in here. Right around this point in here was breaking 700, would have been back around here. The summer fall of 2007 when gold was just starting to break out. That's when I was first being introduced to that of trading in general. And gold was one of the first things, the gold, the Dow Jones, but gold was a big one I was looking at in the early days. And at that point for myself, it was someone who was very good and very knowledgeable in things like, well, definitely on poker, but sports gambling and money management, bankroll management, all that type of stuff. That's why I'm so damn good at risk reward management and all that and bankroll management because I got so much experience at it pretty much my whole life. So I'm really good at that point. And but what I learned in that point at that time was okay, we have an economic model really fucked up. It's bad. And it's set up within the interest system that businesses, countries, individuals, everybody, anyone who borrows money, what we call money, well, debt will have to be guaranteed simply by the mathematics itself. And thus, there's going to be a lot of problems within such. And so, learning all this stuff in 2007, 2008, okay, time to get gold, time to get silver, this economy is going to collapse. And of course, in 2008, that's when everything was going down and all, like they had the Lehman Brothers issues, all of those there's a bunch of other ones. I think Bear Stearns was on the early part of it back in like February or so, March of 2008. And then the old Great Recovery thing, the Fed installing all this extra fiat currency into the system, propping up the stock market and all those other things along that nature. So just trying to hold on to what can't hold. And with more and more people every day finding out how fraudulent this economic model is, it's just a matter of time before the dying breed does just that. And the new breeds become that of new, and they're in place. And that's why I believe there's going to be a time coming where stocks, whatever they do, they'll be volatile. They'll probably go down. But as far as the banking system problems that would come into play, I wouldn't be surprised if both gold and silver originally have a spectacular up move together, where they'll both go up. Oh, gold and silver, as well as the cryptos in general, go up. So you'll see gold break this resistance, break 1800, and it could be faster and more dominant than this because the rate of ascent that this had could be amplified even higher on the next run. And because of that, I mean, things can happen really fast in 6, 8 months. And things can be very, very slow to get going. And that's really what the case of this decade has been for the most part, as we are now just a little over a half a year away from completing it and entering into the third decade of the new millennia, into the 20s. The roaring 20s could be again, at least for those whom are on the right side of the transfer of wealth. And as I finish this off with the Bitcoin price, and with any of these cryptocurrencies, I highly recommend that when you own your coins, you do just that. You own them. You have them set up in your own wallets where you control the private keys. Your nano ledgers, your Trezor wallets. The Keep Key probably is good. Maybe there's some other new ones out there on the hardware level that the ones where you plug in, that gives you an extra factor of protection against the hackers. But having your own private keys with different wallets that are available, whether the ones you download or the web wallets, you'll get private keys or you'll get like a 12 or a 20 word paraphrase. If you have those, then no one knows you have them other than those you let know. And when you go through situations, sometimes you might have to wait many months, and then it could become very, very rewarding after that because there are going to be some very interesting, turbulent times when the shit goes down to extreme levels amongst the global financial economic model. And I don't talk to too many people, definitely way less than the average person would as far as just random whatever amount of people. But when you talk to just everyday folks about Bitcoin, do they even know about it? How much do they know about it? And we are most certainly in the very early adoption stages. I still see at this point. And a lot of these coins, it's still going to be like having something like Amazon way back when. It would be like having knowing about Amazon back in here when it was like $13 back in this point in here. That's the same sort of deal. And you think something's up too much. At this point here was Amazon. At one point it was a buck 40, went up to 70. And I also may I remind you that the cryptocurrency markets are a lot more volatile than this. But from its like under $6 low, that's 60 would be 10 times, 60 is 100. So that would be like 300. That was a 300x move, or it's so far a 300x move from the 2001 lows. But the whole point of it is those who were like, yeah, Amazon's going to be good for the future in here, were right. And I believe that that's going to be the case with the Bitcoin, the Litecoin, and probably the Ethereums, and so many of these other coins moving forward, at least for one significant leg higher. Because there's a chance that maybe in well, let me finish this off within the Wayback Machine to give you a good reference from what I'm talking about. And that's an internet access site for historical, for what the pages used to look like. So what we can do is we can go back, and what I want to do is just see what, like last year, what were the best coins on the cryptos, what were some of the prices, and how have things changed, and while we're at it, look back at previous years as well. So a year ago, approximately, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Litecoin, Stellar, Cardano, IOTA, Tether, Neutron. Binance Coin only at 17. If we go back to 2017, okay, I'm pushing it. Okay, do I push? What do I was doing this yesterday and it worked. It seems to be working, but loading slow. Okay. So the year before that, we had this is 2017 now, so 2 years ago. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, look, Ethereum Classic at number 5, Dash at number 6, NEM at number 7. Those three are no longer in those areas. BitShares 11, Veritasium at 17. That one has fallen really hard since. And shares is actually Neo now. Some of them have name changes. Dogecoin at 25, but that was that one. Now, but let's go back to now 2016. And back then, each time we go back, you're going to notice that a lot of the coins that were very big before were not as much. Back here, Bitcoin 682, Ethereum number 2, Ripple number 3, Litecoin number 4. Then we got the Deo in at number 5, Nem at 6, Dash at 7, Made Safe in the top 10, as is Dogecoin and Lisk. Emercoin at 17. We got Purecoin in there, Counterparty. Oh, let's go back further to 2015. And what we're just waiting for it to load. It's a little slow here, but computer tells me that it is loading. Alrighty, here we go. So back when Bitcoin was $256. Ripple at number 2, Litecoin at 3. We got BitShares at number 5, NXT at 8, Purecoin at 9, Bank shares at 10. Have they been renamed? Are they out of business? Namecoin just got delisted on Poloniex. Startcoin, and then you got Blackcoin, Counterparty, YB Coin, Prime Coin, Supernet, Mintcoin, Faircoin. I was trading Faircoin. I should take a look at that. I mean, it's long, not that long, like a year ago. Veritcoin. Then we have Rimbit. Let's Rimbit. Well, let's go back to 2014. And back at this point, we will always see Bitcoin at number 1. That's always been the case. Will that maintain itself going forward? Question mark. Well, time, of course, will only tell within that. But it would be not a surprise in time if something were to get back and do better. NXT, the third best coin. Litecoin, second. Litecoin was $8 back then. The market cap for Bitcoin was $8 billion. And that's when it was 643. You had Purecoin at number 4. Darkcoin was ahead of Ripple. Mastercoin, Made Safe. What's Neutrino? Quora, Feathercoin, Karma Coin, Cure Coin, Pot Coin, Infinite Coin. Like the pot and the smoke and the weed coins are all getting their asses kicked lately. Every single one by one. There's Red Coin. Cloak Coin is still in business. Nova Coin. I've never heard of Minerals or Razor. Iconic Coin. Anon Coin, Anonymous Coin, I guess. Voot Coin, Max Coin, Crypt Coin, NAS, Billion Coin, Dev Coin. Like, really, all of these out there? Is there anyone way down there? Unibotanium still around. Gorilla Coin, DGB way down there back then. It's obviously flourished. And that's the thing with all of these coins. That's like the real big winner of this boost up until now, with, of course, honorable mentions to Aurora Coin, and it would be one honorable mention as well. But going down even further, there was a lot of coins even back then, like Tickets, Flutter Coin. So a lot of these are shit coins, and a lot of the coins currently being played today are also that of shit ones as well. And a lot, I haven't really heard of like any of these. Well, that was that. I still got 2013 as well. So what did it look like the year before? Well, that's when Bitcoin was $109. I don't got symbols, it looks like. They're not loading up. Litecoin $2.58, Namecoin 61 cents, PP Coin 12 cents, Nova Coin 3.53, Devcoin, Feathercoin, Terra Again, and there's only 14 at this point. So there's some of them are come. Obviously, Litecoin has done well to hold on for this long as well. They're in the same group as Bitcoin, as they say it's the silver to the Bitcoin being its gold. This, of course, is one example to that reason. But at some point, the shit's gonna go down. Things are going to be going crazy. And if there's any problems with exchanges and all that kind of stuff, that's why you want to make sure that you hold the coins in your possession. Having a little bit on there for trading here and there. Well, if you have like 2-3% on there and that you lose it, well, you lose 2-3% of it, and that's something that is much easier to be able to go through. And having all different assets, like I say, anything that you can to have, of course, your foods and your waters and everything, your medicines, and just regular supplies and equipment that is beneficial for you and your surroundings. But you're having your cash. If you want stocks, cryptocurrencies, having gold, silver. If cryptos work out, it doesn't you don't need to put that much in to be a part of it, especially if you want to have good gains. Because if cryptos, especially again if you use my trading aspect to try to gain more, but even if you don't and you just buy and hold and wait for the big gains, if you're putting like 5-6% of your investing portfolio in, and it does stellar 40, 50, 100x moves, then that's going to really help you along your way and survival. Which really makes me wonder why there are situations when people will literally just blow a couple thousand on like whatever type of vacation or extra food meals that surplus cost, meaning they spend 75 bucks with a bunch of people at a restaurant when they could have ate at home for 20, spending an extra 55, all those little bits of things, and then they get screwed later because they don't have cryptocurrencies. Then that just doesn't make any mathematical sense, but that's why having a little bit of everything works out. And then if cryptos don't work out, and then you got the gold and silver, and then that does, well, there you go. It's going to work out. And if they both work out for you, well, that's even better. All right, then. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.